There are so many different issues that are weaving themselves into a braid of violence throughout our country. One of them is white supremacist terrorism. And in order to solve this problem, it's not good enough just to call it terrorism out here in the public. We need to call it terrorism in the statute. In the statute. So that the FBI can investigate white supremacists and their violence as terrorist acts. That's the first thing we need to do. Secondly, this is domestic terrorism, but it is not just domestic terrorism. Because as we learned in Christchurch, white supremacy is an international terrorism problem. And we have to treat it seriously. We have to treat it seriously. And it is the presence of white supremacy that prevents us from treating white supremacy seriously to begin with. That's the second thing. The third thing, as was mentioned, we in the House have passed several bills that are common sense, bipartisan, universal, or rather bipartisan Background Checks Act, H.R. 8. Then we also address the Charlottesville loophole. And let's talk about the third thing. Almost all of these shooters have a troubling history of violence or threatened violence against women. It is a warning sign for mass shooters. So the third thing we passed was the Violence Against Women Act, which prevented dating partners with a history of abuse and threatening abuse and stalking against women from having a gun. Lastly, we need to address the rhetoric around immigration in this country because it is directly responsible for what happened in El Paso. It is directly responsible. When we allude to people as an invasion, as an infestation, we are directly pulling from the language of white supremacy. Directly pulling from the language of white supremacy. So I don't want to hear the question, is this president racist anymore? He is. But what I have to say to the young men and increasingly some of the young women in this country that are falling into the grips of white supremacy, that find themselves getting radicalized in a funnel of vitriol towards Latinos, towards immigrants, towards African Americans, towards all people Black, towards all people Jewish, towards all people of different faiths. What I have to say to you is come back, because there is a mother waiting for you. I know it. I know there's a teacher waiting for you saying, what happened to my kid? What happened to my friend? And we will always be here and hold space for you to come back. We will love you back. We will love you back from the brink. You are not too far gone. You are not too far gone. And I know that this society is isolating. I know that this society creates depression. I know that the lack of opportunity here from Brownsville to El Paso. Because Jumani is right, all of us is right. This is not just about assault weapons. This is about gun violence in all of our communities. So whether it's from misogyny or whether it's from racism, you're not more of a man with a gun. You're not more of a man if you are capable of violence. You are not stronger if you tear another life down. We have to make sure we address that in our culture. Fixing this is about fixing the laws, but it's about addressing our culture. We're going to have to go deep. We need to go deep, because it's not just those that have succumbed to hate that have to change. We need to learn to love bigger, to bring them back. That is our charge. And I thank you all for doing that work.
Thank you for watching this video from NBC4 New York. You can subscribe by tapping the button below me, and on the left you can see our latest updates, investigations, and digital exclusives. We'll see you next time.